Hi, Margaret Maloney with PM Students. Today, let's talk about how you can go ahead, pause that project. And our story begins, as so many do, with once upon a time. As in once upon a time, there was a project manager, of course, because this is PM Student. Once upon a time, there was a project manager, and she was pondering a deep philosophical question: to pause or not to pause the project? That was indeed the question. You see, the project didn't have the best start, didn't follow the best practices, and there were three things missing, three big warning signs. For example, one, there was no official planning, which meant no estimating had really taken place, and yet there was a hard deadline that had to be met, and if missed, would cost the business quite a bit of money. The stakeholders were in disagreement. Some said, we must pause and have a planning session. Others said, that's crazy, we don't have time to pause. And those who said pause said, but we don't even know if we can hit the date. And those who said, don't pause, said, keep your heads down and work as hard as you need to get to the date. The problem was the sponsor did not want the planning session, and nobody wanted to make a decision. All eyes were on the project manager. The decision was hers. If she held the planning session and they were late, well, that was her fault, right? If she didn't hold the planning session and they were late, then that was her fault. She, after much agonizing decision-making, decided to pause for the planning session, and it was a huge success. In fact, the sponsor at the end of the planning session even stood up and admitted that he wasn't in favor of it, but that he was so glad that they had done it. And she learned a valuable lesson, which is sometimes you gain more ground when you take a moment and stand still. Thanks for being here.